What's up, guys? So today we're gonna do something a little different. We got the Sea Sucker, we got the GTR. You know what that means. We're gonna go pick up the new bike, son. Ew! All right, guys, so we're home. Obviously the bike is off the car. So the bike is already on the work stand. We're gonna get started on it. Here she is. I'm so excited. Can't wait to ride it, but first we gotta protect it. So first thing we're gonna do is to wrap it with the ridewrap, which will take probably a couple of hours. We're gonna, the front wheel is already off. We're gonna take the rear wheel off, and then we'll start wrapping. So let's get started on this, so it can be dry by tomorrow for a ride. Woohoo!
All right, so for this ride wrap portion, I'm gonna do a voiceover, talking a little bit about my thoughts on ride wraps and any tips I would have for you guys. So this is pretty much the third bike I've wrapped myself. And I would say the most important thing is to take your time and have patience. A lot of patience, because it can be frustrating depending on your bike shape. Yeah, Ride Wrap does an amazing job on their research and test fitting the pieces around the bike. And so for the most part, they're fairly straightforward. You just follow the instruction and go from there. So the first step would be obviously to remove everything that would be in the way. So you can see from the video, I removed the rear wheel, I removed the drivetrain, also because I'm switching to Axis drivetrain. So two birds, one stone. And then the next step would be then to prep the surface, and that would entail cleaning the entire frame where the wrap would go onto, and then you can get started once you mix the solution. It comes with the kit. I think it's just essentially soap, and I think it's like 2 drops for a small bottle. And then yeah, get started. The first thing I like to do is look at the instruction, kind of see which piece goes first. It's numbered from 1 to 22, and you can see I've started working on that piece. So you spray a little solution on the frame itself. I like to spray a little solution onto the piece itself, and as soon as you're peeling up away from the masterpiece, master sheet, you spray the glue side, and then once you slap it onto the frame, you can position the sticker to optimize the fitment. And once you do that, you use a squeegee to kind of go up and down along the spine of that certain piece, I guess the middle. That would serve as like a central skeleton. And then once you get that down, try to squeegee all the air bubbles to the sides. Now it's almost impossible to have 0 bubbles, especially around the curved areas of the bike. So don't worry about those. Obviously you want to try to minimize, and if you have too big of a bubble, don't be afraid to peel it up, spray more solution, and then just reapply it. So I also would recommend getting a cloth glove. Put it on your non-dominant hand, and then so that serves as almost like a squeegee in of itself, and it also absorbs the extra solution that you may have sprayed over. So once you squeegee majority of the solution out, you can use your finger to press the edges down. In the beginning, because the solution is still present, so the edges are kind of hard to stick to the frame. So sometimes I like to use a heat gun to kind of help, number one, dry the area, and number two, to kind of make that certain area more pliable to that certain shape. So yeah, you do that for all the pieces. Make sure that, you know, if you get a little tired, take some break. Don't worry about it, the bike is not going anywhere. The last thing you want to do is rush and, you know, have a super huge bubble, and it would not look good, and it would start peeling at the edges too. So the dirt and all the gunk can get in there, and it would start peeling. I would say the hardest piece on this bike, well, actually the hardest piece on any bike would be the headset, the head tube, because it's obviously, you know, any curvature is kind of hard to print out on a plain sheet of film. But just take your time, work from the top to bottom, and then I find that at the bottom you can take the two corners and kind of pull away from you towards the rear of the bike, and then kind of press them down like that. So yeah, so I would say just have patience. This took me a total of 3 hours. Wasn't too bad, but you know, I was texting and taking some breaks in between. So yeah, so it's not too hard, but definitely I like to protect the frame first before I ride. And so that's it. Later today we will be doing the rest of the modifications, and put that in a separate video. All right, thank you and cheers.